Welcome to another episode of the Urban Wall Street Project. I'm your host, Earl Christian III, of course. And today I have an amazing show for you, some beautiful women, an amazing fashion designer, but we're going to get into it. She's doing some amazing things, and you're going to enjoy some of these sites. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Ms. Ecco Savoy Debnam. Ms. Ecco, how are you?
Hello, it's a pleasure.
Nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
So, fashion and design, and I know your company is Beautiful.
Beautiful is the name of the company.
I love it. Beautiful is the name of the company. So I want to ask you first things first, what made you come up with this line? Because I know it's for full-size women, right?
Well, the name of the line is E.Savoy, that's the collection, and it's for full-figured women. There's a series of problems with designing, so therefore the clothes were designed around the full-figured woman opposed to just making clothes that they can fit.
Okay. And why do you think that was? What is?
Because I think a lot of people that were designing some of the clothes weren't actually wearing the clothes.
Okay. So what kind of woman does Beautiful design for?
Well, we took a different spectrum in the way we designed the clothes because we wanted to take the measurements of African American and Latino women specifically. Their derrieres are much larger on the bottom, the waist, the hips. We considered the proportion from the waist to the hip, and then the bust. A lot of times they're full of busted, and if they're full of busted, they have assumed that you're also large on the bottom, which is not necessarily the case.
Right, that's for sure. So how long have you been designing Beautiful?
About 5 years.
About 5 years, excellent. Is it now, I'm looking at some of the designs, and my people, you're going to see some amazing things in a moment. I'm sure some of you ladies out there are going to want some of this. So before they start asking and blowing up the phone lines, is it available to be purchased now?
It's available online, but it's also going into Macy's for 2009.
Excellent. That's a beautiful situation. You know, we all have big plans for our companies and we're doing things. Where do you see Beautiful going?
International. Everywhere, absolutely.
And that's a beautiful thing because the Urban Wall Street Project is international. So we're going to talk about some things, but I want to get into it. I want to see some of these designs.
Oh, that would be great.
Okay, let's get into it. Let's see some of these designs.
Right now we have a floral piece. It's a short baby doll and it has a long flowing A-line bathrobe to it. The reason for the A-line cut is because if the woman is cut wider at the bottom, it still gives her the comfort that she needs and still have a flowing, easygoing piece to go along with the nightgown.
Beautiful.
That piece was also done in a pajama. That's a two-piece floral pajama. It also has a little bit of stretch in it, actually. Okay, soft, easy wash and wear, and actually it comes out of the washing machine exactly the way it looks right now. So you can hang it and put it on.
And it's looking very good right now. I like to see this. And I know my full-size ladies, my plus women, my voluptuous women are going to love this because it looks very good.
Thank you.
Wow, so the inspiration behind that piece?
Something that's beautiful, something that's soft, and something that's really age-appropriate, I'd say.
Okay, so now I see some beautiful blue.
Yes. This is for a woman that likes solids. Now, if you notice, there's panels on the side, the white panels.
Yeah.
That's for when she sits. A lot of times, African-American women have a larger bottom, so therefore that allows the sides to give without splitting and busting the backs open. Okay, that's pretty much what that's for.
Okay. I like that piece too.
And we've also done this in a polka dot. So we've done the pajama in a polka dot as well as a solid. And if you notice, they both have the side panels and they have the robes that go with them.
Okay, I like the way that's flowing. That's very nice. And this is evening wear. This is for in home, huh?
Yes, this is pajamas.
Beautiful. I like it. All right. Now that was a beautiful situation. I know we got a lot of other models we're going to see. We're going to see some more designs in a moment,
yes,
correct?
Absolutely.
And what's the inspiration behind the next piece we're going to see?
It's still being featured around the full-figured woman, giving her the pieces. Here's a silk piece that's coming along now. This is so she can go from day to evening. If she's out during the course of the day, she can go from a flat shoe to a kitten heel or a dressy shoe, and she still looks great.
Yes, she does. Excellent. I like the way it fits. It's very comfortable as well.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. That's 100% silk.
Beautiful. Excellent. I love it. And now the woman, okay, I like this right here.
That's a jersey. That's 100% jersey, and it's made loose fitting, because she's fuller on the bottom, and if you notice, we have slits on the sides
Yes.
that allows her to be comfortable. It's a capri pant, and she's just as dressed as the petite and smaller bottom young lady as well.
Excellent, excellent.
Okay.
I like this, yeah.
She's very tall.
Yes.
Okay. And this is a heavy jersey, and it has fringe on the end of it, and it gives her an absolutely fabulous finish.
Definitely.
For her height, for the cut on her body, full bottom, and day to evening also.
Okay.
This we did in a two-tone. This is a satin bottom, and it's a two-tone top. It's a little sheer on the top. She's a smaller bottom, but she's fuller on the top.
Okay.
So she gets the same advantage as the other young lady with the petite, in the petite.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that's a beautiful situation. Okay, we got
Now
something.
here's a dual satin that goes from day to evening. A great Saturday afternoon piece or Sunday brunch piece also. She's a little fuller on the bottom. She wanted all satin, but she didn't want flowers on both the bottom and the top, and she didn't want the solid on the bottom and the top. So we kind of gave her a great mixture.
Okay, I like that. And that just diversifies the look a little bit.
Absolutely. Here, instead of giving her the spaghetti strings, we went with a rounder neck and a fuller cut top on the shoulders. So it's easy flowing, and it flows over. If she has a large stomach or middle,
Right.
it allows her to have a fuller top.
Excellent, excellent. I like that. That's a beautiful situation. Okay, okay, we got something else I see here.
This actually is part of the beach wear. It's sheer, and it's actually a beach cover-up. We're starting to make beach cover-up pieces that are absolutely fabulous for the full-figured woman, for
Right.
being able to wear on cruises or on the beach here.
And just be comfortable and not
be
feel like you
comfortable.
have to,
Absolutely,
be exposed.
absolutely.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful situation.
This is another piece that goes from day to evening. If you're meeting your girlfriends late and you're gonna have dinner after work, this is a great piece that you can wear to work, yet it's still comfortable and easy to wear out after work.
Definitely.
Wonderful
Okay.
piece for Friday evening.
All right, so that's the evening wear. Okay, excellent. All right. I'm loving it. And I know my viewers are watching at home, the women are watching at home, and they're really enjoying this. Because I know so many women, that's the trouble, is trying to find the bottom to go with the top. So this?
Yes, this is once again, this is the mix and match pieces of the satin. This is the gabardine, the easy flow and soft round neck. This is a beach cover-up. And this is the day to evening wear.
Beautiful, beautiful. That's a beautiful thing, and I love it. I've only had the pleasure of once before, showcasing, fashions for full-size women, and I know a lot of times it's really hard for ladies. So, what really inspires you to do this? And when I say inspires, because I have a lot of young viewers. When I say inspires, so many people want to emulate to see what they see people doing it before them, and I know it's not easy getting into any industry.
Right.
So there's a lot of particulars I know people want to be mindful of and be aware of. So if you were teaching some young girls that want to be fashion designers, what's some advice you would give to them?
I would say, first of all, take the measurements of the particular, if it's clothing you want to do, take the measurement of the woman or man, say it's a man that you're going to be cutting the body shape for, because if you're going to be designing the pieces, it would be good to know what you're designing them around. My pieces are specifically for the bust and for the hips and the larger bottom legs. I would say find out if you want to take a course in school. Sometimes actually it's a gift that you just need to kind of sharpen up your skills on.
Right.
Sometimes it's something you really want to do and you're a little afraid to take the plunge and venture out into. Don't be afraid.
Right, definitely.
Don't look back 20 years from now and wonder why you didn't do it.
Yeah, and I see that.
How many times have we heard people say that? If I was young again, what I would do. So I would definitely tell them network. Go into the Chamber of Commerce's, begin to find out if you're on campus, if you're in a certain community, Find out who and where the events are. Get business cards. Begin to network. That's extremely, extremely important with regards to finding out what you want to do and taking it to the next level.
Definitely. And I emphasize that on the Urban Wall Street project. And we talk about it at home. It's definitely about networking, putting yourself around the right people and being familiar and knowledgeable of what it is you want to do, not just jumping into it. Now, I know you've been doing this for a little while. When did you know that this is what you were made to do?
A long time ago, because I always tinkered with clothes. I cut off sleeves, I cut off buttons, I changed the bottom of pants. I would take a blouse and turn it into something, a head rag, or I would do different things with clothes. So I kind of played around with it. And then one day I just decided, you know what, let me see if this can go somewhere. And I actually went to the store, purchased fabric, and decided to design some pieces, and that's how it started.
What was your first piece?
The women are going to want to scream if I tell them this. Lingerie, which we're working on now. It is absolutely, absolutely fabulous.
Amazing.
Fabulous.
Now, my thing about the Urban Wall Street project, and one of the things we talk about, I want to emphasize, is entrepreneurship, ownership, being business-minded. And a lot of people want to have their own business. I talk to people all the time, I want to have my own business. And they have to realize it's a lot easier working for someone else.
Yes, it is.
But then working for yourself. But of course, it's much more gratifying and rewarding at the end of the day when you're working for yourself.
Yes.
Entrepreneurialism, is something that we definitely need more of in urban American communities. I want to see African American males and young females doing their things. As a business owner, and someone came up to you and said, Ms. Debnam, I love what you do, but I don't know where to begin. I do have some business cards, I've networked, but should I put a team in place? Should I go to school, or should I just do internships? What other advice would you give to some people?
Internship is a great way to start. Depending on the level of what it is that you want to do and where your skill is with it, I would highly recommend that you go into registering with the state, your business with the state. The state would be the first thing, because this way people would then begin to know that your business is actually a legitimate business when they're looking up your business. Forming a team. Finding out who does what, who's good at what, because you're only as good as one person. And coming together with the team to be able to form your idea and then put it down on paper and see where you want to go with the next steps.
And I'm glad you said that, because one of the key words you said is team. We talk about that. It's always about having a team. You got to have a team of people. A lot of people want to think, I want to do it on my own. But if you don't have a team, it's really going to be hard to win that championship.
Oh, absolutely.
And I like that you mentioned that, because I talk about it. If you don't have a team, it's really going to be hard to win. And we say Michael Jordan could be at one end of the court, and the 5 worst players in the NBA at the other end, but he will lose every game, because interdependency generally will overpower or outsource independency pretty much any day. Now I want to ask you, so you got your clothing line, you want to take it international. Have you started making strides to take it international?
Oh, I absolutely have. I'm working on that now.
And what's some of the obstacles? Now, a lot of things are obstacles. Being in business, it seems like Murphy's Law kicks in. What's some obstacles that might come into play?
As long as your business is registered, you're going to have to find out through the Chamber of Commerce different steps, and that's what they're in business for. The Small Business Administration is also there, set up to help you become successful at your business. I think 10, 20 years ago, there weren't as many people going out and venturing out, but because of the economy and the way things are no longer stuck where you're in a position for 20 or 30 years, I think more and more people are venturing out and wanting to, if they don't do it full time, they kind of want to step out and get their feet wet in the water, at least part-time. So I would say Chamber of Commerce would be one, Small Business Administration. Look into your community. Look into, there's churches that are available, or mosques. There's different centers that are available that will help you and guide you through these steps. But definitely take the steps to be able to do that. Once you take those steps, they'll be able to help you go from one thing to another. You also need a business plan. It's going to change, but you have to start off with a business plan. That is very, very important.
Definitely. And a business plan, I think a lot of people don't realize how much work has to go into it. What's the benefit to it? Now, when it comes to investors, are you financing it yourself? Do you have investors? Or what's that scenario like for individuals?
Once you legally begin your business, you'll find that there are people that will fund you out there. They also come through the Small Business Administration. They will tell you who factors are. Factors are people that will take your invoice and hold your invoice until you're paid. So there are people that will assist you if you have part of the money that will help you along with that, but you've got to be very serious and you've got to have your paperwork together. Definitely,
definitely. That's the most important thing, commitment, dedication to oneself, and being thorough. You know, a lot of people don't realize there's a whole lot that goes into it. I also want to ask you, now I know you have, with the models, you work with your niece.
Yes.
Right? Now, how does it feel being able to give an opportunity to a family member or a friend? Because I know people want to work, but business is business, and family is family.
That's the truth.
So how do you balance the two?
I had to know that she understood, first of all, my vision, and second of all, that she would absolutely be interested in what I'm doing. She may see my vision, but not be interested in what I'm doing.
True.
So they have to go hand in hand. And if you can allocate a little bit of what you're doing to them, let them take it and run with it. You don't know what they are capable of until you allow them to do it.
That's very true. Now, your models, how do you come into contact with your models? How do you find
Oh,
models?
I run into models everywhere. You see people in the supermarket, you see people in agencies, you run into people at networking events, you see people everywhere, and you just kind of start talking. And leaving cards, you run into photographers always are shooting models, so that's an easy plug too.
Right, right. So it's very important, you would say, to have your network base should consist of some photographers.
Yes.
Definitely some models.
Yes.
Possibly some people that can help finance your dream.
Absolutely.
People that see your dream
Yes.
and understand your dream
Yes.
and want to be a part of your dream.
Absolutely.
It's about putting the team together.
Absolutely.
How many people would you say you want to have on your team? So you're starting out and you're really serious about it. What would make a nice, efficient team for you?
I would say 5 off the top of my head.
5 off the top. And those players should be?
People that are interested in marketing.
Marketing.
If it's something to do with technology or photography, you need a person that does that because you can't wear all the hats.
Right.
Then there's your position, so that's 3 right there. Then you need someone to put down on paper and keep the records and keep your dream and your vision moving because it constantly changes as you continue to flow with it. And a 5th person is somebody that can come in periodically and drop things at a moment's notice and kind of fill in when you need them to.
Excellent. Now, this is the thing that's very important. You know, a lot of people, I got to get paid. I got to get paid, you know. Sometimes, you know, I talk to people and they come on a show or we do on location, and a lot of people who are in their field, in their craft, say, you're not always going to get paid. Sometimes you do things for free. And I like to tell people, oh, I'm not doing anything for free. But if you're gaining some experience and you're gaining a network and you're gaining an alliance, that's priceless.
You're absolutely right.
You know what I'm saying? So what do you say to people who think they have to get paid all the time?
I've had to do, and I will continue to do. Anybody that's wealthy, if you look at their resume, they've always contributed things back. And the reason that they do that is because as you help somebody else out, whatever you need, the pieces of the puzzle that you're looking for will come to you.
Okay.
So one hand washes the other.
Definitely. Now, so I know you've done your diligence and your hard work because you said the line is going to be soon featured in Macy's.
Yes, absolutely.
How'd you make that happen?
A couple of pieces that I wanted to continue talking about is you need to be certified.
Okay.
All companies are going into certifications and supplier diversity. All companies across the board. Supplier diversity is major. If you want your hands in and you're really serious, you've got a good product,
okay,
then supplier diversity is the way. You have to have all your paperwork done correctly.
Right.
That means registering your business. That means getting a business account that
Yes.
you're not playing games with.
Right, right.
That means putting your credit into the proper channels.
Okay.
That means finding people that can help you put the paperwork together. A lot of times you'll find in colleges, there are interns that will get credit
Right.
for helping you put your business plan together so that all the pieces come together for getting your business to the next level. Once you get certified, then companies such as Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Neiman & Marcus, Apple Computer, Coca-Cola, whatever your product is more apt to look at you because when you take your business serious, so will they.
It's very true. So understand that you got to be on your game. Because we talk about it all the time. A lot of us have big plans, big dreams, but you got to make sure you know exactly what you want to do because you only get one shot.
Yes.
And you want to make sure when you get that one shot, you knock it completely out of the park. I don't even want a home run. I want the ball to completely disappear, and it cannot be retrieved, not even by a joyful or enthusiastic fan. So now you've dropped a lot of science on the individual, let people know it. What's some of the, I should say, some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome in the past few years?
I think because I'm now being asked to speak in different places and give a lot of information out, information that I didn't receive and that wasn't available to me, I find it easier to give to people, and I'm able to point them into the direction as to where to find the information that they need. So whereas I bumped into a lot of walls, the walls that I bumped into, I try to keep people from bumping into the same walls.
Beautiful. Now I know I love fashion, but I'm not a fashion designer, and I can always think about things. I like to think about questions when I have guests, what my audience might want to say, or what she would have asked her this, or I wish she would have asked her that. In your line, in that field, is there anything that I haven't addressed that you feel someone that's an inspiring designer, a fashion designer that wants to get into the game, they should be definitely also cognizant of?
Don't feel like you're locked into just one thing. I just finished my first book. I'm working on my second book. I would have never thought when I started designing clothes that I would have become an author as well. Don't feel as though just because you spent money and just because you started one thing that you're locked into it, because you're not. You can always change direction. It's completely up to you.
I do. Now, a lot of times, I want to know if it's the same in the fashion industry. You know, a lot of times when they have a job, they say it's always to get a job when you have a job. Like, so is it easier to, now that you know you're going to be featured in one store, is it easier to get yourself featured in other locations? You know, once you get one store.
You can pick and choose at that point, whether you really want to extend yourself to that level, because remember, the more you extend yourself, the more responsibility.
That's true. That's true.
So you have to make up in your mind, is Macy's enough? Or do I want to actually take it to the next step? You have to wait and see how your steps go.
Key. You have to wait. Meaning wait is also synonymous with patience.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people just I want to be here, I want to be here, I want to be here. And one thing I remember, and I said it, Ice Cube was talking to somebody, and he said, you just want to get hot in your city first. So you look at it the same way. You want to take your market, if it's your New York, Chicago, London, Belgium, China, and be the hottest commodity what you do in your location, and then try to spread it. Because a lot of times we all spread ourselves thin. Even if the checks are coming, oh, let's get it in this store, let's get it in this store, and a lot of people are just so, you know, quick to get the money, and they just want to really blow up quickly. You have to be conscious and know that nothing worth having is easy. Right. Right.
Absolutely.
And so I know, you know, I wish I could just, you know, look at those models again, because it was really cool. But you know, as a male, so what about men? What about males? Now we see, you know, stuff for females. I guess we have big and tall for men, right? But do you design for men, or is that something you can do?
No, but I keep being asked to do things for men. But for right now, I'm going to stick with the women.
Stick with the women.
Yes.
Now, I love the fact that you know, you do full size women. Is that what they call it? Is it called plus size?
Full-figured.
Full-figured women.
Right.
But you know, when we say full-figured, some of the ladies that came out, they are petite, and I think people, I want to define real quickly.
Actually, they're not petite.
Right, but because some people think petite is small or short. What is actually petite?
Petite is height.
Height.
Right.
Not
and
necessarily
it's
the
also, it's cut in the clothing, because a petite woman can have shorter arms or shorter legs. So petite is in height and in the width of her arms and her legs.
So it doesn't, so you see Jada Pinkett Smith. She's a petite woman.
She's petite in height, exactly.
Petite in height. But would someone see Jennifer Hudson, say, would she be considered petite? Could she be considered petite?
No, she's not considered petite.
But
because she's taller.
Oh, she's taller.
So it also depends on height. But I would call Jada Pinkett petite because of height and size. But she's not a full-figured petite. Right. You have petite, and then you have full-figured petite.
Okay.
So.
Now, full-figured starts at about what size?
It depends on the cut and the body shape of a woman, and that's where there's been so many problems.
Right, okay.
Okay, a petite woman can be a size 10 that can't find a lot of clothing that fit her body correctly.
Okay.
Okay, a full-figured woman could be a size 12 or 14 woman. Although she looks like she's tall and lanky, she could actually be full-busted and very well-rounded at the bottom. So even though she looks like she's tall, she's not.
Oh, okay, that's a beautiful situation. And I'm glad you clarified that for me, because a lot of people, oh, she's so petite. And I remember I met a woman, and she wasn't what I thought petite was. But now that you've described it, I guess petite can be so. So if somebody's 5 feet but they may be like 140. Can that would be considered petite because of their size?
It depends on her, right, exactly, her
Okay,
body frame.
okay.
Because if she's more muscle or muscle mass, then she's not necessarily considered petite as far as the frame is considered, but as far as height is.
Okay, beautiful. I've learned a lot. You know, I know we have a few moments left to go, so before I wrap it up, I want to give you this moment to, look at my audience right here and let them know how they can find you, where they can see you, and one final solid piece of advice for anybody who wants to get into this industry.
The best advice I could offer you would be, once again, to reach into your local Chamber of Commerce, Small Business Administration. You also need a DUNS number. Ask for the free DUNS number. Dun & Bradstreet has a number. You need that number. It's very, very important. There's also a lot of money now being distributed through governments, through giving out bids, contracts, grants. That also becomes eligible for you. But you must have your paperwork together. Your paperwork must be correct in order for yourself to be considered for the bids and the contracts.
Beautiful, beautiful. My people at home, I hope you enjoyed this segment. All my full-size women out there, you're beautiful, love yourself. We got some beautiful designs coming, so keep your eye out.
My book?
And before we get out of here, I want to let you know the book that's going to be coming out.
Yes, it's out already.
It's already out.
Yes.
Go get it.
Yes.
Go get the book. Go get some Ecco Debnam. Go get some E.Savoy Fashions. And like I always say, Urban Wall Street, be mindful, be prosperous, keep your head up. Do what you want to do in life. Stay focused. Make sure you're efficient. Things get much better. Until next time, peace. Get the book.
Thank you. That was fabulous. Thank you so much.